week, the workshop space of Ecamar Philippines in Makati City opens its doors to less privileged kids to teach them the art of capoeira Angola. It was invented by African slaves in Brazil in the 16th century, which they used to overcome their situation. Today, live on our studio, we witness how it stays true to its history.
Lives of at-risk youth is Jay Benedicto, Director of Project Bantu Philippines. Good morning, Jay! At sa lahat ng kids, hello!
Oh, magandang umaga! Good morning.
Galing niyo naman.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're super excited to be here. I think I speak for us and all the kids. This is Project Bantu Philippines' first appearance on television. So,
wow.
Yeah, thanks for having
us.
Well,
you were telling me that the kids really were a little bit nervous. I think the whole squad was a little bit nervous. But you guys showed us what you guys were all about. I mean, the music is fantastic. It's a real sort of peek and a small taste of what the capoeira culture is all about.
That's right. Well, to talk about capoeira a little bit, it's an Afro-Brazilian cultural manifestation. So it's a combination of a lot of things. Like you mentioned, there's music, There's movements, as you saw. It's a game. There's a lot of philosophy behind it as well in the songs, and there's a lot of tradition, which is good for kids because it helps give them structure. So yeah, that's what it's about.
How about Project Bantu, and how is it incorporating capoeira into your project?
Right. So I think to answer that question, we need to talk about the situation of young people in the Philippines.
Okay.
You know, being a third world country, there are a lot of challenges that young people here in the Philippines face.
Yes.
And research shows us that young people who come from underprivileged communities or poor backgrounds, they contend with a lot more handicaps that kids from more affluent backgrounds don't have to deal with. So this translates into things like them not being able to start school, them not being able to start school on time, them not being able to finish school, and it goes on until when they start looking for work, etc., etc. So we come in and we introduce Capoeira Angola, music, culture, dance, game. And we use it to engage young people to get their attention first. But through the activities that we have during our classes, we try to give them structure. You know, working with a lot of kids from poor backgrounds or underprivileged backgrounds, you see that there's a real absence of this structure, especially kids who are separated from their families, who aren't in school so often. And we come to sort of give them the structures and the rules that will help them understand how society works and how they can sort of deal with the challenges that they'll face every day.
Right.
Through capoeira.
Yes.
I mean, it's not always an easy route. I know. I mean, you know, practicing capoeira is a challenge in itself.
That's right.
You know, given the disadvantages that many of these kids have, also, it's not an easy road. I mean, there's always many bumps in the road, even for you guys who try to help.
That's true.
Kids again.
That's true. And I think that's actually part of what makes capoeira good for kids. Like Paulo mentioned, it's not something that's easy for adults to do. Adults who come from, you know, normal backgrounds, let's say. And for kids from difficult backgrounds or disadvantaged backgrounds to come and to learn capoeira and to see that they can learn something like this, something so foreign, the language, the songs, the instruments that they've never played before. This gives them a sense that they can actually do other things that other kids can do, more regular things like going to school, like staying with their parents instead of going somewhere else, you know what I mean? And it's good for them because it teaches them discipline, patience, perseverance, things that they really need to survive, first of all, and to get a good future ahead.
I'm just curious to know, how did this project start, and how did you find these kids? Where did the inspiration come from?
Well, actually, Project Bantu Philippines is an extension of Project Bantu International. Our master, Mestre Hoshinho, he established this project a long time ago in Brazil, and then he moved to Australia to work with refugees because Australia receives refugees from all over the world. And his project is the same. Instead of working with at-risk young people, he works with refugees, and they use capoeira as therapy, as healing, through music, through dance. And when we started our group, we realized that there was a lot of need here in the Philippines, obviously. And some of these kids actually just came to our class with other people. And then when we learned more about their background, we decided that it would be a good idea to sort of work with the kids from that community. So we actually work with other groups of kids. These kids are from one group who we work with in Manila. We work with another set in P. Burgos, the red light district of Makati. More street kids in that area. And I think, as we saw earlier, we also work in a public school in Manila. So we get kids from their friends, from parents who approach us and ask us if we can help out with if their son can join, if their daughter can join. So it's very informal.
How have you seen the practice of capoeira sort of make an impact on the lives of the kids?
As we talked about earlier, especially kids who really who spend most of their time outside in the street. It was really challenging to work with them in the beginning because the concept of structure, the concept of even just sit down and listen to me while I'm talking, don't stand up, don't run around, is very alien to them.
Yeah.
So, a year later after working with them, they're actually helping me. When we get new kids, they're the ones to say, hey, sit down first, or they'll be the ones to say like, don't do this, don't do that. And this is a simple thing, and it's a process. It's really a long-term process. We don't expect it to to go quickly by any terms, but there are signs of improvement. You know, the kids, for example, learning to play the instrument is a very positive.
How long has this group been at it? I mean, there's you guys are playing your instruments well. There's some real flow already developing in their game. You can see some really good progress.
Right. The longest here is probably 1 year and a half, maybe just about a year and a half.
Can you share with us a particular story of a student or a case of a child and his progress so far?
Well, okay. I have 2 kids who I work with in P. Burgos, and when we started with them, and Jackie, my assistant, knows this, they were really difficult to deal with. They would come to class for maybe 10 minutes, and then they literally could not stand it. They'd run off.
Okay.
And we're very strict about rules because they need these things. So I remember one time I locked them out because they came 20-30 minutes past the time, and they just stood outside in the street yelling many things, you know. And I remember they actually I had parked my car outside, and they removed the plates from my car.
Oh,
and then you know, fast forward to a year later, these are the kids who now, when I was monitoring their attendance, they're the ones who are always there. They come 30 minutes before the class time, even though I tell them, don't come, I'm not ready yet, they'll still show up. You know, so it's very encouraging to see. And it shows that even kids who are on the street a lot, they're looking for a sense of normalcy. They're looking to be part of like a class, to be part of a group, because they really don't have these opportunities outside.
I'm having some Karate Kid vibes over here.
Definitely.
It's kind of like that. So, for the people watching here who know some kids who might benefit from this project, how can they get in touch with you? How can they refer some kids to Project Bantu?
Right, yeah, so Project Bantu is a very new project. We are definitely looking for meaningful partnerships. You can send us an email at info@projectbantu.org.ph. You can also text me at 0917-598-8207. We also have a website, projectbantu.org.ph, and you can check us out on Facebook as well, like our page, Project Bantu Philippines.
All right, well, good stuff. We want to say thank you, or obrigado, to Jay over here, Jay Benedicto, Director of Project Bantu Philippines. Maraming salamat sa mga kasama niyo mga kids. You guys did great today, and of course, everybody who else is involved in Project Bantu. Salamat. Thank you so much.
Such a noble cause. Now, coming up, fun fans to the co-creator of the Empire